You're standing in front of the kitchen island, eyeing that sleek stainless steel slab and wondering if it's worth turning a regular outdoor cooking routine into a permanent, built-in setup. I get it. You've probably spent a few evenings scrolling through endless options, worrying that a wrong choice could cost you a chunk of cash and a lot of frustration. You want a grill that actually fits your lifestyle, not just a glossy brochure. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The Napoleon 700 Series 38-inch natural gas grill is marketed as a set-and-forget centerpiece for serious home chefs who want that restaurant-level finish without the hassle of a freestanding unit. The first thing I asked myself was whether the built-in nature of this grill makes sense for the average backyard. If you already have a custom countertop or a dedicated outdoor kitchen, the grill can blend right in, saving you the visual clutter of a standalone piece. If you're renting or have a modest patio, the installation demands like cutting a precise opening and running a gas line might outweigh the aesthetic payoff. Let's talk about the heat. Napoleon lists 78,000 BTU across the cooking surface, which translates to a solid, medium-high output that can sear a steak in a matter of minutes. In practice, that amount of power is perfect for a family of 4 who likes to throw a few burgers, a couple of chicken breasts, and maybe a veggie medley onto the grill each weekend. The heat distribution feels even enough that you can set a steak on one side and a tray of foil-wrapped potatoes on the other without constantly shuffling pans. If you're after a high-heat blast for a quick char, you'll still need to give the grill a minute or two to reach that peak, but once it does, the burners hold steady. What really sets this model apart is the infrared rotisserie burner. It's not just a gimmick, it actually creates a dry, high-temperature environment that cooks a whole chicken or a pork loin evenly while keeping the meat juicy. I watched a friend use it for a Sunday roast, and the skin turned crisp without the need for a separate convection oven. The rotisserie runs on the same gas line, so you don't have to worry about additional power sources. If you rarely cook whole birds or large roasts, however, that feature might sit idle most of the time. Cleaning a grill is where many owners hit a wall, and Napoleon tried to address that with their maintenance-free grids. The cooking surfaces are coated with a non-stick, stainless steel finish that resists rust and makes wiping down after a session relatively painless. In real-world use, you still need to scrape off charred bits, but the grids don't cling to food the way some cast-iron grates do, which cuts down on soaking time. If you're the type who enjoys a deep clean every few months, you'll appreciate that the grids can be pulled out and rinsed without worrying about corrosion. On the flip side, the coating can be scratched if you use metal tools aggressively, so a silicone or wooden spatula is the safer route. Ignition is another spot where frustration can creep in. The fail-safe ignition system on this Napoleon model is designed to spark reliably even if the primary spark plug misfires. In my experience, you push the starter button and get a consistent click and flame within a second or two. That reliability matters if you're juggling a crowd and can't afford to waste time troubleshooting a dead burner. It also adds a layer of safety if the grill doesn't ignite. The system cuts the gas flow, reducing the risk of leaks. The only downside is that the system adds a small amount of electronic complexity, meaning a power outage could temporarily disable it until you reset the unit. Installation is touted as easy, but easy is relative. For a seasoned DIYer, cutting a 38-inch opening in a countertop and fitting the grill into place takes a Saturday afternoon and a few basic tools. The gas line connection is a standard inch flare fitting, which most professional plumbers can handle quickly. If you're not comfortable with metal cutting or gas work, you'll likely need to hire a pro, adding a few $100s to the total cost. Once it's in, though, you won't have to deal with the extra weight of a freestanding grill moving around in wind or during cleaning. Who should buy this? If you already have a built-in outdoor kitchen or you're planning to create one, and you love the idea of a grill that looks like part of the countertop rather than an afterthought, the Napoleon 700 series is a solid investment. It shines for families that grill several times a week, for hosts who want to impress with a rotisserie, and for anyone who values a cleanup that doesn't involve a bucket of soap and a steel brush. The high BTU output and even heat distribution also make it a good match for serious hobbyists who experiment with searing, smoking, and indirect cooking. Who should skip it? If you're a casual grill and cement kind of person, the built-in commitment.